It's time for the Douglas Coleman Show. Smooth and Savvy is joined by some of the hottest talent in the entertainment industry, from musicians to authors and all those in between, along with our own Periscope girl. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Mr. Smooth and Savvy himself, Douglas Coleman.
Howdy, howdy, ho, hey, 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 hee, 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 ha, ha, ha. Welcome to the Douglas Coleman Show. It's me, Douglas Coleman. How are ya? Another stellar show for you today. We've got a very interesting guest for you today. His name is CorVatta, and he is an actor and comedian, all-around great guy. He will be up after the musical review. Last year, we had some amazing musicians come on the show. It just didn't do them justice to play the song once, so I want to play them again. So we're going through the list and just picking out one song from everybody who was on the show. So today, we've got another 3 songs for you coming up. But before we get to that, I want to make an announcement. The Dusty Cover Show, which my production company, DJC Productions, has been producing, will be moving to a monthly format. The show is a very good show. It's about authors and books, but Dusty is busy with other projects and things, so she's going to be moving to a monthly format. It'll be the last Thursday of every month at 3 p.m. Eastern Time or 8 p.m. London Time. So the last weekly show will be the 21st of January, and then it'll go to a monthly format, and it'll be the last Thursday in February will be the next show. We also still have the Amazon drawing going, so please go to Dusty Cover on Spreaker. It's actually Spreaker.com/user/Dusty Cover Show. Click on follow, and you will automatically be entered to win the $20 Amazon gift card. Once we get to 100 followers, we will have the drawing. I think we're up to almost 50 now, so we're just about halfway there. Once we get to 100, we'll do the drawing. We will announce the winner, and you'll have 24 hours to email us and let us know that you are the winner, or you were the one we said, and we'll send that right out to you. Okay, well, let's get on with the musical review. Like I said, we have 3 songs coming up. We've got Running in Circles by Villa Avenue, which is a great band out of Chicago. Chris Schindler is the lead singer and songwriter for that band. We also have Butterfly, which is a beautiful ballad sung by a beautiful woman named Halie Loren, who has been touring and traveling all over the world. She's an amazing singer in the kind of the old style of jazz ballads. But she also does blues and other kind of music, but amazing voice. And then finally, we have The Never-Ending Pageant by a Scottish singer from Aberdeen named Colin Clyne. And it's a great song, very powerful song, and a great harmonica. He plays a really nice harmonica in that. So, without further ado, here is Running in Circles, Butterfly, and The Never-Ending Pageant.
Let me take you away. part with like the extra guitars in the beginning. Like it sounds kind of cool.
I never felt so old, so ready to fold it all down, so at home on the cold hard ground. I'm not chasing the sun no more. How I love that light, but it don't help when the nights get long. I'm too tired to right all the wrongs I must have done to end up so far gone. But my sweet friend, the angel, you're floating on the wind. Tell me this is not the end. And you say that I just gotta play this game and leave it alive. And someday I'll look back and see all the pain and fear was a lie. You gotta die a while to come back a butterfly. When it comes to change, all I know is to rage against. It don't matter the cage I'm in, it still feels like a home to me. But then the rain comes down and I'm afraid that I'll drown in you. Cover my hair, but it's loud and clear. There's only one way out. And oh, cruel world, you break me out of all my shells. I guess you know me well. And you say that I just gotta play this game and I'll leave it alive. And someday I'll look back and see all the pain and fear was a lie. You gotta die a while to come back a butterfly. Reaching for the wind, longing to begin again. Butterfly.
fire in my soul. Give me one more try on those songs that you've given to me. I'll sing them to my children evermore. And I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm tired of never-ending pageants, Messiah. Drop down my line, I'll never let you go. 'Cause I won't look back, missed opportunities. I won't look back, now you've given love to me. I won't look back, missed opportunities. I won't look back, now you've given love to me. Oh, 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 oh. And I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm tired, never-ending pageants, Messiah. Drop down my line, I'll never let you go. 'Cause I'm so tired of this never-ending pageant story. I can do this anymore.
Wow, great stuff. Really love the cowbell, Chris. Still can't get enough of the cowbell. Anyways, we will be back with Lucas CorVatta after these commercial messages.
With Adventure Boundless, best-selling author Jane Yates follows up her acclaimed Paradox Child trilogy with Garden, a steampunk science fiction novel with fantasy overtones, enjoyable for all ages. Inspired by the classic novel The Secret Garden, Garden begins with 11-year-old Aberdeen living in space above a perilous Earth. Aberdeen is looked after by her robot nanny, but she is often used to being alone, dreaming of dragons and castles. The sudden death of her parents forces her to live with her neglectful uncle on Earth and is captivated to find a world repairing itself. Fascinated by her new surroundings, Aberdeen makes new friends and explores the boarded-up house, only to discover a mysterious tunnel leading to wondrous things. Follow Aberdeen's journey of self-discovery, of trials and friendship. Garden, narrated by acclaimed actress Anna Parker Naples.
Hi there, this is Stuart Epps from the UK, record producer, engineer. You might have heard of me. I've worked with artists from Elton John to Led Zeppelin to Bad Company, Twisted Sister, Robbie Williams, Oasis, many great bands and artists in the past and the present and hopefully in the future. But you can work with me as well. You know, all you got to do is get in touch with me on eppsmusicproductions.com. That's eppsproductionsmusic.com. And I can help you with your productions and with your recordings. A lot of people do home recordings now, which you can only take so far. Maybe they need a bit of professional help. So get in touch with me and we can sort it out. And thanks for Douglas Coleman for giving me this spot. Thanks a lot. Cheers, bye.
And now...
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. See? Nothing up my sleeve. Presto! Wrong hat.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Okay, my guest today is Lucas CorVatta. Lucas is best known for his honest and quick-witted humor as a working stand-up comedian and actor. He is the resident comedian for numerous comic cons within the Southwest and has opened for Cameron Esposito, G. Tom Mack, Corey Feldman, and Vicky Shaw, to name a few. Lucas was a columnist for the Medical Marijuana Journal and the travel and entertainment editor for the national GLBT magazine Pride and Equity. He was appointed celebrity ambassador for Bathing Bad, a bathing product line inspired by the Emmy Award-winning TV series Breaking Bad. He was also spokesperson for Clear Sky Skincare. Tried to say that fast 4 times. You can't put a price tag on confidence. He was co-host of the popular CW television show Duke City Comedy League. He also hosts live events and entertains audiences at Pride, PFLAG, and charity functions throughout the United States. Most recently, Lucas has spoken at colleges and support groups about suicide awareness and prevention. As a suicide awareness, anti-bully, and equal rights advocate, Lucas is passionate about bringing awareness to individuals, whether young or old, gay or straight. Life is a journey. Experience it. Please welcome my guest, Lucas CorVatta. Hi, Lucas. How are you?
Hi, Douglas. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. I was just reading through your bio, and you've done a lot of things. Before we get into some of them, though, I was wondering, can you give us just a quick background on yourself so people can know a little bit about you, where you came from, and how you got to this point in your life? And then we'll cover a couple of points in your bio.
Certainly, of course. Well, I was raised north of Santa Fe on a little farm. It's a family farm that my parents still have. Was raised there. I've always been industrious and entrepreneurial and started a company. Started selling pens and mugs and caps, promotional products when I was 16 years old. I had just turned 16. And around the age of 18, had some money saved, and my parents helped me buy a small printing company in Santa Fe, owned that for a while and sold it, and then owned another company, started a judgment recovery agency and sold that right when the economy took a turn around 2007 and did not do so well in that. But I found my passion for film and comedy when I was in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was out there, just come out of the closet to most of my friends, not even my family. I hadn't come out to them yet, but I moved to Vegas for love, to find a boyfriend, or I had found one there, and we started dating and went to school. I was going to go to school for fashion, so I started looking at the schools. And while that was going on, my boyfriend at the time dumped me, and I'm in Vegas.
Oh.
And I didn't know what to do. It seemed like my world had just closed in. The company had closed. Things weren't going smoothly with school and getting in and enrolling, and just been dumped and found myself alone in a city of millions of people and without family support for me coming out of the closet. And I had Xanax. I had PTSD and thought, I'm going to just end my life. And I went down to the bar in the hotel. I was staying at the Sahara Hotel. It was still open at the time, and ordered a drink. It was a pina colada. Remember it from Rupert Holmes' Pina Colada song.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and sat there and made the woman next to me laugh. I said a joke without intending to, and she laughed and she welcomed me and started a conversation, and that changed my life. That moment, I didn't go back upstairs to commit suicide, which was my plan, and hung out with her and her boyfriend for 3 days. I remember the joke. She ordered the drink and we were chatting, and her boyfriend came up and he said, he lost $1,000 at gambling, most of all his money, in 24 hours. And I said, well, it's a good thing you didn't take him to a strip club. He would have lost his pants and his shirt too. And she thought it was funny. And from that moment on, I've been telling jokes, and so comedy saved my life, and I'm happy to be here and happy to continue in what I love and my passion for comedy and film and work. It has become my passion, and I hope that it touches other people. So that's basically where I am at the moment, and how I got to where I am. I've worked in film quite a bit. Actually, I've cut down the past couple years because I decided I want to do the things that I'm really most passionate about, and that's stand-up comedy and talking.
Okay, you had mentioned that you went to Vegas. Did you go to Vegas to look for a boyfriend, or did you already have a boyfriend who was in Vegas?
Well, I was looking at colleges in Vegas. They have an art and design school that really has a concentration on fashion. And so I was going there for fashion. I was going there to look at the schools. And also I wanted to live in a town that was bigger, more accepting of who I am as an individual, and happened to meet him through a chat site, a dating site. So we met online first, and then met in person, and our relationship carried on for about 3-4 weeks, I guess, for a short time. It wasn't well. That's very long in gay years, to be honest. But it lasted a brief moment, and that's how we met.
Well, the reason I ask is because I live in Las Vegas. I think if I were going to go somewhere to look for a relationship, Vegas would probably have been the last place I would go, just because it's a very touristy, transient kind of city. It's one of those great places to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there, even though I do live there. I don't know. It struck me a little bit funny, but okay. But you went for something else and then found this guy, as a matter of fact.
Exactly. Yeah. I was going there for school and, to expand and ended up meeting him. Yeah.
You had mentioned suicide, and you also have that in your bio here, and I want to talk a little bit about that. You speak at colleges and support groups about suicide awareness and prevention. Tell us a little bit about that. Tell us how, first of all, tell us how people can be more aware of somebody who might have suicidal tendencies, or what are they going to exhibit that might raise the flag that this person may have a problem, or they may need to be, watched a little bit carefully.
Yeah. Reaching out, when somebody is withdrawn, and my parents they obviously didn't see the signs, because I had really separated myself from my family and from those who were really close to me, except a few friends, because I didn't think my parents were accepting. I was raised very conservatively in an ultra conservative home. And the joke is that my parents didn't let me watch Ellen DeGeneres because they were afraid she was going to turn me into a lesbian. And that's the truth. They didn't let us watch Ellen DeGeneres. So I was really withdrawn from my family and from people who really knew me. They may have just thought, I've never really discussed this part with my mom. I've never really talked to her or my sisters about it, but I assume that they just thought I was trying to find myself, which I was. In trying to find yourself, you also you isolate yourself sometimes. And I definitely was isolating myself. And you can live in a place like Las Vegas. Like you said, there's so many, it's a transient place. There's gypsies. People come, they go. It's there for vacation. The majority of people who are there for entertainment. They go, they leave.
Right.
And that's why you can be a person in a town with 1 million people and still feel lonely, because it's that type of town. And so I was really withdrawn from my family and loved ones. And by me reaching out, just making that one joke, engaging someone, changed my life. That changed my life. There's other signs, of course, if they're on meds. I have Xanax. I don't take it. I don't use it now. I'm learning to control my anxiety. That's one sign. You're on meds. You drink, possibly you drink too much. You drink in excess. So there's signs that a person can that you can tell, especially when they're dealing with life issues. And there's a time in a person's life that they're dealing with that, between the ages of being a teenager, especially, to about 25. A person is really trying to find who they are, find their career path, find where they want to live, possibly. And also, as they get older, individuals who, especially in the gay and lesbian community, when they're coming out of the closet, they go through some changes. They go through those transitions as well. Possibly their kids left home. They're in college. They're now having to find who they are with their spouse. And sometimes they've been living, they haven't been living authentically. And I had a boyfriend. He passed away 3 years ago. He's the age of 43. He was 43 when he committed suicide. And he did reach out to me. We had lunch and but it just wasn't enough, and I had no idea the depths that he was in, how dark his world had become.
What do you think drove him to suicide?
I think it was the fact that he was having such a hard time in life transitioning. He had gone through a divorce when we first met. We went on 4 dates before he told me that he was still married and going through a divorce. I did not know that until the 4th date.
Wow.
He had signs of mental illness as well. He was in the Army. He was a veteran, so that did not help. When he came out of the closet, a lot of his friends who were the macho type, the masculine, they cut him off. And I think that is one of the biggest things. His family, even though his younger stepbrother is gay and out, his family wasn't as accepting of him coming out, especially not older, but older in life, coming out older in life. I think that all contributed, and dealing with the divorce and downsizing, it's a complete lifestyle. It's a complete lifestyle change. And I think all of that, and trying to still date, that's another complication when you've been married for 15 years. I think he was married closer to 20, and you're trying to date again. And it just becomes a different ball game, I think. And, he got his nose pierced. He got some piercings on his body. He got tattoos. He kind of went to the extreme and did it very quickly. And, so I think that all contributed to him. I wish he had called me, I've had friends call me in the middle of the night. I had a friend, I remember I was sitting in a hot tub and just so happened to have my phone. And usually I turn the ringer off and I'll play Pandora, but, luckily I had it on, and a friend called me and said, "Hey, I am having the hardest time. I'm figuring out if I'm bisexual and what's going on, who I am." And he again was later in life when he came out. I believe he's 38. It's a difficult thing. Yeah, reach out to someone. That's the biggest thing. If you can reach out to someone and give yourself time. The whole thing, what helped me was I had time. I had time to contemplate. And the woman sitting next to me, her name was Trish. She became a sounding board for me. I was able to chat with her, make her laugh, engage with her. And most of all, it gave me time to just reconsider my life and where I want to go and who I want to become.
So the best thing you can do to help somebody who might be suicidal is just open yourself up and make sure that they know that you're there, that they can call you anytime and be available for them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that you are there for them, that they have someone. For me, I felt no love at the time. I didn't feel loved. I thought was just dumped by a guy who should understand me the most, because he's gay, he's out, he's successful doing his thing. I thought he would understand the most. And but the thing is to reach out and to be available for that person. If you know they're going through a difficult time, be available to them. I have a number of friends that they know I'll pick up the phone for them and call, or they can text me. Even if it's Facebook, I noticed that, hey, this friend has not been online for a while. What's going on in their life? I haven't seen them. And it's kind of hard when you have, several thousand friends to follow up with on Facebook. And some of them are they're people that you really don't know, but you get to see their pictures and get to see them through Facebook. And when they're not there anymore, you start to wonder what's going on. And it might be a couple weeks before you notice, but send hey, how are you? I'm reaching out. How's it going? Happy holidays. Today I sent out about 4 text messages to friends that I spaced out. I was like, oh my God, I forgot to, but it's reaching out and saying, hey, how are you? Following up with it, knowing that they can always call you, that you're there for them.
How was it for you with your family? How did your family take it when you came out to them?
Well, I had just come back from Vegas. I stayed in LA for a couple months with a friend and kind of, in fact, we talked about this. When I was in LA, she said, you always have a home here. I told her I'm coming out to to my family now that I go back. And she said, you always have a home here. You will never be homeless, and you will always have friends for support. And her name is Bess. And she ensured that I was okay, and met a lot of she introduced me to so many of her friends that either were in the same situation or their families were cool with it, a variety, but they were living their lives authentically, and they were happy and they were successful. They were in relationships. Some of them were dating, but, and I thought that's where I want to be. That's what I want in my life. The things that normal people want. Sure. Everyone wants those things. They want love. They want to be successful. They want a place they can call their own. So I came back with that understanding that I always had friends in California, and came back and was able to, I told some Christian friends, and the first response they said was, Lucas, we know you're gay. We know you are. We just didn't know if you knew you were. And I mean, that is... You hear that more times than not, So my friend said, we love you. My friend Belinda, and she was conservative Christian. She said, it doesn't matter what my background is or what my beliefs are. You are my friend. I love you. God loves you. And there's nothing else to say. We're friends. She was going through divorce at the time. I was coming out of the closet at the time. So we kind of had this bond with each other. And she said, it's probably time that you tell your family. So, I was going to do it in grand style. If you've ever seen me on stage, I'm kind of fabulous and a little over the top in certain ways. And she said, but you want to make sure that you ease them into it. You just don't want to show up with a boyfriend on your arm, kissing and hugging and doing things that, and I considered what she had to say. And I thought, that is true. I need to be considerate of my family. And this is going to be a transition that they're also going to have to make. And it might not happen so easily, but I'm ready to do it. And so I went to my parents, spent a couple weeks, and my sister, we had gotten into a dispute, and she said, well, I know something about you, and I'll just tell Mom. And I knew exactly what she was referring to because a friend of hers had told her that they had seen me at a gay bar. And in the heat of it, I said, go right ahead and tell Mom, because it would make my job so much easier. Please tell Mom that I'm gay. And I'm always the type that, nobody has to speak for me. I can speak for myself. I might be 5'2" with a pair of stilettos on, but I can speak for myself. And so a couple days later, I went and bought a case from St. Clair's, a case of red wine, sweet red wine, I remember. And my dad was at work that evening. And I thought, this is perfect. There's stars out, the moon is out, the stars are out. It's a perfect summer evening to get my mom drunk and tell her that I'm out, that I am gay, Well,
I think getting her drunk first would, that was probably smart. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if the hangover wasn't so good, but it definitely helped ease into the situation and the conversation.
Could take the edge off. Yeah, definitely.
It took the edge off for sure. So I remember sitting in the porch, porch lights were on, and I said, Mom, I've got something to tell you, but I can't even tell you with the porch lights on. I can't do it, and I can't do it seeing your face, because I was so afraid of her disappointment, of seeing disappointment in her face, because I thought that it was a disappointment. For her to have a gay child. I thought that's how she would view it. So I said, let's get our glasses and go somewhere where it's darker. And so we went out into the stars. My parents have a lovely farm with trees, and it's perfectly lit because you can see the stars at night. And I said, I have something to tell you. And I to this day, I don't know what she was thinking that I had to tell her, but I told her I'm gay, and it was, I am gay. And those are the hardest words to say. Those are still probably to this day the hardest words to say for me to have said. Those were so hard at the time. Not now, but where I was at that time and in place, it was so difficult for me. She reached around and she said, I love you. I love you. I don't care what you do in life, but I love you. And it doesn't matter. I knew you were gay from the moment you were born, I felt you were always different. And when you were 3 years old, wearing my high heels in my closet, I knew you were gay.
Oh, well, that should have been a clue.
Yeah, that was a very big clue. I just didn't know that she knew I was doing that, because I had been wearing her heels in her closet till I had been around 12 or 13, until her shoes no longer fit me. It was always while she was away and my parents weren't looking, but she knew I had stretched her favorite heels and I didn't put them back in the right place. She knew that. And now it's the beautiful thing. My family is the most supportive people in my life. They're amazing. My nephews and nieces, they are amazing. They are so great. And they stick up for the kids in their school, because they say, hey, I have a gay uncle. Don't treat somebody, don't treat them mean, and so they're now becoming the advocates, which is amazing to have, because I didn't have that growing up. So,
I think that now that gay marriage is officially legal in the United States, I think all of these homophobic people who were protesting and who wanted to, what was her name? Kim Davis and all of those people, I think they're going to realize that after time goes by and all these gay people get married, that they're not going to even notice, that there is just going to be no significant change in their daily lives at all. And with any luck, they're going to wonder what the hell they were bitching about, because, it doesn't affect anybody. If you get married or if the guy next door gets married, the only way you're going to ever know about it is if you get invited to the wedding. Other than that, and I think it's already faded away. You look on Yahoo, there's nothing about it. Once the Supreme Court ruled it, that was it. It was done. It was over.
The day gay marriage became legal, I was tears. I was crying, because for the first time in my life, I felt like a normal American. Although I was shopping at Walmart and I was wearing flip-flops and pajamas, you just feel, it's normal. It's not a thing anymore. If me getting married to another man is a threat to your marriage, to your heterosexual marriage, then you have a problem with your marriage.
Well, absolutely.
There's something wrong with your marriage, not mine, with yours.
I agree with you. And one of the things that they were all concerned about was that this somehow is going to redefine marriage. Well, marriage has been being redefined since it was in its inception, really. I mean, if you go back to the times of the Bible, they said, you can trade your daughter for 2 goats and a pig. Interracial marriage was something that got rid of in 1967 in Virginia. So, I mean, marriage is constantly being redefined. There isn't a time in our society when it hasn't been. My grandmother got married at 16 years old to my grandfather, who was 18. And at the time, that was like perfectly normal. Her parents and his parents said, oh, well, good, it's about time. 16 was the right age to get married. And this was in the early 20s. Now, if a 16-year-old wanted to get married, I think the parents would have a fit. That's just like way too young for this society. So it's constantly being redefined.
My grandma was married and she was, I believe, 15 or 16, and my grandpa was 31.
Wow.
I believe he was 31 years old.
Yeah.
And it was, I guess it was an arranged marriage, and that's what they did.
Well, that's another one. Arranged marriages was something that was done for centuries.
Yes.
And now with the gender roles, with women working equally with men, the only reason to get married is for love. Because all of the other things that, when back in the day when women had to get married for somebody to support them, because they wouldn't be able to support themselves, there were different reasons that people got married. Well, now it's really just about love. And
that's what it should be. That's
what it should be, right. I got a couple of terms here that I wanted you to help me out with, because there are some people out there that just might not know what these terms are. I'd like to get your twist on them. We've got transgender, transsexual, and transvestite.
Transgender.
Transsexual, and transvestite.
Well, a transvestite is probably the easiest. That's an individual who likes to dress up, but is attracted to the opposite sex, but they like to dress up, much like Eddie Izzard. he dresses up, he wears the heels, very flamboyant, la la la. He's a transvestite.
But he's heterosexual.
But he's heterosexual.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Transsexual is an individual that is actually getting the sex change.
Okay.
So you get the sex change.
Like Bruce Jenner.
Yes, Bruce Jenner. Transgender, and it's transgender or not transgendered. That's past tense. Transgender is an individual, much like myself. I consider myself to be gay on the transgender side because I'm very androgynous. You relate, I am gay, but I love dressing up and I have the androgyny going for me. I've got that look and I play that very well. I can relate to women very, very easily. Love heels. Anyone out there with Jimmy Choo shoes, we will probably be best friends. So I love dressing up, love that, love the feminine attributes that I have, and I embrace those. But I also love the masculine attributes that I have, working on the farm, wearing steel-toe Carhartt boots, working a chainsaw and driving a tractor. Those are all very fun to me, and everything in between. So I can go from, I don't dress drag, but it's a different thing. That's more for show. So those are the three definitions.
Do you consider yourself more on a woman's side or the man's side? Or you said both?
Yeah, it's such a toss because it just depends where I am at the moment. If I'm with my parents on their farm, I am my dad's son. I am my dad's son, and I love hanging out with my dad and doing things with him and working on the farm and being active. Those are very fun things for me because of my upbringing. I grew up on their farm, but also I love performing and getting dressed up, and I put on not too much makeup, but I do wear makeup every day, and I love wearing heels, mostly because they make me look taller and they make my ass look better. So what's not to love?
There you go. Well, that's why women wear them anyways.
Yes. Yeah. And so I love those things as well. And I don't want to define myself by just saying I am more male than I am female. I have so many, a person is just more than what you see on the outside. And I have that as well. And of course it reflects on the outside, but so it's a toss. It's probably about a 50-50 to be honest.
Well, so you're all encompassing. You've got sort of the best of both, I guess.
Well, I guess I do. Yeah. Lucky for my future husband, I guess. Right.
Well, you're a complete person. Yes. Both sides, yes, masculine and feminine.
Yeah. Complete human. I like to call it trans. I'm a transhuman.
A transhuman. That's a good one. That's a good one. The other one I wanted to ask you about was Bathing Bad. Tell us what that is.
Bathing Bad was a spin-off product that was inspired by Breaking Bad, the TV series. And it was so much fun. It's not in existence any longer, but it was so much fun. They were bath salts that looked like the blue meth from Breaking Bad. And,
I see. Okay.
And not the bath salts that you ingest and makes you go crazy. These were legitimate bath salts that made your bathtub smell even better, and wherever you put it, the aroma just carried. And we also had a line of lotions and bath bars. There was candy. There was a couple other items that were listed on the that we had on the product line. It was really fun.
Was that the Clear Sky skincare?
It was, yeah, Clear Sky skincare. Also part of that, and primarily leaning toward younger individuals and individuals with acne and also dryness, and great for women going through the change of life, or men who are experiencing acne in their older, or in their 40s. It was primarily toward them, but it was great. It's great for the skin. The
other thing here, it says that you were a columnist for the Medical Marijuana Journal.
It's true, yeah.
Were you an advocate, or what were you writing about?
Well, it was a comedy. It was called CorVatta's Comedy Corner, and I wrote for 2 issues until they went bankrupt because they smoked all their profits. But it was really fun. It was great. My column, the first one, was related to stand-up comedy and how it related to medical marijuana use, and PTSD. When I was a younger kid, 9, 10 years old, I was touched inappropriately by a neighbor boy who was around 15, 16. And the last experience was somewhat traumatic for me. So, after the company sort of failed, it was, in the long run, it was a success. But anyway, when it failed during that time, I was experiencing terrible anxiety and went to see my doctor. I didn't know what it was. It felt like a cat had been sleeping on my chest all night long, and I couldn't breathe when I'd wake up. And I was waking up early, which is unusual for me. So I went to see my doctor and diagnosed me PTSD. And the moment he said, I think something may have happened to you in the past, something that you may not even be aware of, maybe you've blocked it out. But the moment he spoke those words, it's like a file folder just opened and this video screen just started playing, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I think there were other instances that it happened, other times, but I only remember the one. And so, I'm an advocate for it. Whatever you need to do to keep yourself in control and contained and make yourself relax. I smoke occasionally, but not as often as not as often, to be honest. It's mostly to relax now after a comedy show, after you've had a very good night or a very bad night on stage, and you just need to decompress and you need to just enjoy your space,
Well, I'm certainly an advocate for not only medical, but I think recreational. We've got 2 states now, I think, that are legal, right? Is it Colorado and Oregon?
Colorado,
or Washington?
I believe Oregon, Seattle. Or is it?
That's Washington. Okay.
Yes, yeah. And California has medical. New Mexico has medical marijuana. I believe Washington.
Nevada does too. And Nevada's voting on recreational this year. So, yeah, I think it would be a great way for the U.S. government to get a lot of money for tax revenue, and they could leave our income alone. Just tax the marijuana 300-400%. People will pay it. Colorado has made an enormous surplus of money for the state, and now they're trying to decide what to do with it. Whether they're gonna cut the sales tax down or cut the income tax down. They've got all kinds of money coming in from the marijuana, and
it's a beautiful thing.
It is. It's great. So, what are you doing now? Where are you performing now? What are you up to?
This weekend, I actually have a Comic-Con gig. It starts Thursday, so I believe it's the 7th. Let me check here. 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th of January in Albuquerque at Comic-Con. And I host a number of events. I'll be hosting a speed dating event and possibly a comic trivia and a comedy show after. I believe that's on Friday night. And then I've got a show in Albuquerque on the 17th of January on Sunday at a place called Ned's. It's sort of my going away stand-up show. I'm moving to Palm Springs, and the 22nd in Vegas at a place called Tequila's. It's owned by Sherry Gordy, the daughter of Barry Gordy from Motown. So I'll be there, and I don't have anything booked after that. I want my transition to Palm Springs to be smooth and to go well. So I don't really have much booked until the latter part of February. I'm scheduled to work on a film the latter part of February through the end of March. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. So
okay, well, super. Well, Lucas, we've kind of run out of time here, but can you give everyone your websites? Can you tell people where they can find you and look at you and see you?
My website is lucascorvatta.com, LucasCorvatta. My Facebook, you can reach me through Facebook. I've got a fan page and a regular page, and I've got Twitter. I've got the other social media things as well, Instagram and stuff, but I don't use those as much, just way too much. But my Facebook website, that's great. Messaged me and loved it. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, it was my pleasure. It was great talking to you. And I think this could be an inspiration for people who are struggling with their sexuality.
I hope so.
Yeah, that, you can't kill yourself about it, There's better things to do in life, and it will get better.
It gets so much better. If I look back, it's going to be 9 years ago in April that I went through that I was going through that issue. And I look back and I'm in tears most of the time when I think about it, because my life is so good now and things have changed so dramatically that if you just give time and find your passion, sometimes you don't know what it is and you just have to find your place in life. But when you do, life is so good and there's no reason to commit suicide or think of it, and I know depression's a thing out there. I know it firsthand, but it gets so much better, and occupy your time and your life with good people, positive environments, good vibes, and good things happen. Think good thoughts and good things happen.
There you go. Okay, Lucas, thank you very much for coming on the
Douglas.
show. Well, that's about all the time we've got for the show today. I want to thank my special guest, Lucas CorVatta, and also the music of Villa Avenue, Halie, Loren, and Colin Clyne. This is Douglas Coleman saying goodbye.
To the mile, you've got to run, not walk. To give a sermon, you've got to preach, not talk. To reach the mountain, you've got to climb, not dream. To say you love me, you've got to speak, not scream. All the way on love, can't do it just halfway. All the way on love, it's a big price to pay. All the way on love, if you feel it, then make it stay. 'Cause all the way on love, find salvation, you've got to pray, not pay. Forget the answer, it can't be found that way. Love was simple, we'd have it every day. So keep on searching, and clear will come from grace. All the way on love, can't do it just halfway. All the way on love, oh, it's a big old price to pay. All the way on love, if you feel it, then make it stay. All the way on love. So hold on tight and learn to give, not take. Just keep it real and learn to make, not break. You think it's easy, life is upside down. That's when they'll tell you you've got to turn